Hello, everyone. Sorry we are like a minute late. I was having some random technical difficulties, but all smoothed out and should be fine now. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Welcome to Dragonrider Happy Hour. Welcome to my bar. It's so good to see you here. For any of you who are regulars at the bar, I should say welcome. And if you've not been here before, welcome. This is just a happy hour where we hang out once a week. It's a great gathering place for the community in a bar that's in my house, so it's nice and safe, and discuss the latest in gaming headlines for the week. So if you're here because you're just here for the news, after the stream is over, I will make sure to chop this video up into chapters so you can just skip to the news topic that interests you. But today, we are going to cover news like all the indie games announced at the Nintendo Indie World Showcase, all the indie games announced at the ID at Xbox Showcase. GTA Remastered Trilogy is apparently real and coming to Switch, which is cool. Life is Strange Remastered and True Colors has been delayed. Idris Elba is going to be voicing Knuckles and so much more. So again, feel free to skip around to that stuff if that's the news that you are here for. If you are here to hang out, welcome. Let's take a chill pill and enjoy our Friday. Hi, everybody. I see a lot of people saying that the dress is very colorful. Thank you very much. It is very not licensed old school 8-bit video game. That's what the dress is. But thank you. Thank you for that. So many announcements, but no big reveals, says Steven Summers. That sums up this week pretty nicely, doesn't it? Although Idris Elba as Knuckles definitely took me off guard, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Before we do that, let's bring in Bartender Nate to find out what we're drinking today.
Hello, Dragonriders. So today we're having a mocktail. Mocktails mean it's a drink without alcohol. So you can still enjoy, and it will always be responsible unless you have too much sugar and you have diabetes. So don't overconsume that. This is a classic cocktail or mocktail, the Shirley Temple. If you were ever a child and had an uncle who took you to a bar that probably shouldn't, this was probably what you were served. So it's ginger ale and just a little bit of this, which is called grenadine. Okay, so that's it. Pretty simple. Enjoy.
Thank you. So yes, I am having a mocktail today because I am going to pick up little man from school after this, and I don't even look at any adult beverages and get anywhere near the car. So mocktail it is for me. What are you guys drinking? Oh, we'll talk about that new Battlefield. You better believe it, Battlefield 2042. We'll talk about that. Beartastic Yogi says, man, it's been ages since I've had a Shirley Temple. They're super good, though. Agreed. Very tasty. Super, super good. Shade X is having a Fanta. Boat Knight says Diet Pepsi. I'm at work. Joe Land has some beer. Generic diet soda for Rob K. Awesome. Craft Blonde Ale for Jordan. Enjoy, Jordan. Cheers. Cheers to you, my friend. Looking forward to that GTA Remastered. I want to taste of nostalgia, says Claude. I am with you. Julian Rakowski is having a lemonade. Very nice. So anyway, yeah. To everybody here at Happy Hours, cheers! I know some of you are still at work. For those of you who are winding down your work week, thank you for winding it down with me and kicking off your weekend right here. I appreciate you so much. So thank you for being here. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the news, shall we? We'll kick things off with the Nintendo Indie World Showcase, which was Wednesday morning. It was about 20 minutes long, but they announced a lot in it. In Nintendo, anytime they have these kind of Nintendo Directs or Nintendo Showcases, I feel like they barely give us 24 hours notice, and then they're usually at a weird time. This one was at least at 9 a.m. Pacific, so for a lot of us here in the States, it wasn't like a set your alarm for 2 a.m. kind of thing, which I appreciated, but here's what we learned from the Nintendo Indie World Showcase. Games that are available now, so you might see some of these coming up on the Gong Show on Tuesday. Axiom Verge 2 is a prequel to the 2015 game that takes place across two very expansive 2D maps. Necro Barista is also available now, which we featured on the Gong Show before, actually, if you remember this one. It's a visual novel about running kind of an underworld coffee shop. It's called Necro Barista Final Pour, and it's kind of this like anime visual style visual novel, like I was saying. It's very funny. It's written very witty. Highly recommend. Boyfriend Dungeon, which I've been following the development of for quite some time. It is literally a dating sim where you get to date your weapons in a dungeon crawler. So dungeon crawler dating sim mashed up. Cannot wait to check out Boyfriend Dungeon, personally. Guardian of the Grove in Garden Story. It says, let's see, with this one, it looks like you get to rebuild your home and inspire people around you in an adventure that is filled with vegetables, fruits, and frogs. So for those of you who like that kind of like gardening type of, I would imagine more like a Stardew Valley, but I don't know, I haven't played it yet. If you have, shout it out in chat. And Islanders Console Edition, which is a relaxing strategy game for the most part. All right, let's see. Oh, it was 5 p.m. for the UK folks. That is a nice time for you. Tyler Boy says, Boyfriend Dungeon. I am so curious. Tune into the Gong Show on Tuesday is what I will say about that. Necrobarista is a very interesting name, says Ridian Morgan. It certainly is. Yeah, so we did feature Necrobarista a while ago, and actually I will say on the Gong Show, normally visual novels do not fare very well, but I'm pretty sure even Necrobarista being a visual novel got the win for its uniqueness. It is a very cool game. So those are the games that Nintendo announced that are available now. Some fall releases that they announced include Tetris Effect Connected, which I am so excited about. Tetris Effect is, in my opinion, the penultimate way to play Tetris, which if you're like, how exciting can Tetris be? Check out Tetris Connect. It's amazing. Tetris Effect. But this is Tetris Effect Connected. So it's Tetris Effect in all of its visual and audio kind of zen out glory. But there's also a Battle Royale mode now. ShadeX, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Says, there's an indie shooter event this weekend, 2 Realms Deep 2021 with sales on Steam. Maybe GOG. Hosted by 3D Realms, live tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is awesome. Thanks for letting everyone out there who loves indie games know about that. So Tetris Effect Connected is coming out this fall, October 8th, I believe, and I'm super, super hyped for that. Eastward is coming out September 16th, and that's an action-adventure 90s anime-looking RPG. And Toem, which is this cool black and white hand-drawn game that is exploring Scandinavian-inspired countryside. That looks really interesting and unique as well. And then they also announced that Loop Hero, which you know I love on PC, will be coming to Switch in the winter, as well as Shovel Knight Pocket Adventure. And Shovel Knight we just checked out on Gong Show this last week. So there you have it. So, and then they also did say, looking forward, 2022 release Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, which is described as a graffiti action adventure, very similar to like a Jet Set Radio type of game. But that will be a timed console exclusive. Metal Slug Tactics. I know so many people were hyped for this when I was hosting the weekly for Twitch in that chat. And it's a fresh take on the classic Metal Slug franchise, if you will. So it's tactical combat mechanics, but Metal Slug. And then Far Changing Tides is a high sea puzzle adventure. So all of that crammed into 20 minutes. Question for you, did you watch it? What game were you the most excited for? If you did watch it, what do you think? ShadeX says, I'm Scandinavian. Cool. Metal Slug is great, says Weasels1. Steven says, people went crazy. I didn't know Metal Slug was so popular. People are hyped. I also really love a good tactics game. Like, give me turn-based tactical combat, and I am there. So Metal Slug Tactics, I will definitely be checking out. Yeah, see, Boat Knight says, oh my gosh, Metal Slug Tactics is my #1. I was obsessed with the arcade, and I've bought every Metal Slug on every machine it's been for sale on. Metal Slug community, shout out to you. Love it. Jimmy Sprinkle says, I did not watch that showcase. Well, that's okay. I just gave you the rundown, so now you don't have to watch it. Unless you want to see all the trailers yourself. Or, you know, you can just Google the ones you're interested in, I guess. Or YouTube, I should say, the ones you're interested in, since you're here on YouTube watching this anyway. But yes, that was Nintendo's Indie World Showcase. It was Wednesday morning here, Pacific time, or afternoon or early evening there, depending on which time zone you're in. And a lot of announcements crammed into one showcase. Do you think the Switch is going to be like the hot console for this holiday season? I mean, I guess it depends on availability for the PlayStation, huh? PlayStation and Xbox. Jimmy says, I've only played Metal Slug 3 before. Yeah, a lot of you. Oh, I love the Scandinavian high fives going on in chat right now. But yeah, we'll see if the Switch or the Switch OLED are going to be the hot console for the holiday season. I don't know. Like I said, I think it'll depend on the availability of the other consoles. But hopefully that'll get better. Semiconductor shortage, please. All right. Now, in other indie game news, ID at Xbox, which is Microsoft's big indie game section of the company that they like to help take indie developers and get their games to full release. ID at Xbox had a showcase on Tuesday, and they announced a bunch of indie games as well. They announced available now, Sam & Max Save the World Remastered and Library of Ruina, which is a library battle simulation game, battling other librarians using cards and dice to gain more books for your own library. I have to look and see if that's on Game Pass, because if it is, that's definitely going to be a gong show contender. And then coming up this fall, Stardew Valley is coming to Game Pass. Yay! If you have not played Stardew Valley yet, I highly recommend giving it a try. It is just lovely, and you can try to date everybody in town. And, you know, if you want it to be like a dungeon crawler, monster battling game, you can. If you want it to be a farming sim, you can. If you want it to be a dating sim, it is. If you want it to be a fishing game, yes. Stardew Valley is all of these things, and I highly recommend it. I like it a lot. Also coming out in the fall, The Artful Escape, a guitar prodigy becoming a folk music legend side-scroller. I got a chance to see an advanced preview of that on the weekly, and it looks very cool. Aeon Drive is a cyberpunk sci-fi game with like a speed-running twist that looked really neat. Origami 2 is a sequel to 2016's Origami, and it's a third-person stealth game where you get to play as an assassin, which is rad. Beertastic Yogi says that library game is in fact on Game Pass. Thank you for that, Beertastic Yogi. I appreciate it. Ridian says, I don't want to play Stardew Valley purely because I love watching Maud play it. You could play it too. It's not an either or, but I'm sure Maud has a great time in Stardew Valley. Inked, A Tale of Love was shown at the ID at Xbox showcase. It is a puzzle quest, unconventional love story about a nameless hero traveling the world on paper with his partner. The Big Con is another one, a story of a runaway teen con artist who's hustling their way through 90s America. That looked pretty fun as well. The Veil, Shadow of the Crown, which we showed on the Gong Show about a year ago, that was shown at ID Xbox. It's if you remember this, it's the game that's all audio based. So you play a blind adventurer in the game. It's all dark and you're just playing with audio alone. I don't know if you guys remember that. When we looked at it a year ago, it definitely still needed some work, but it is coming this fall and is being helped out by Microsoft, which is great to hear because I thought it was a really unique idea. Space Lines from the Far Out is a procedurally generated co-op adventure. And you're running an intergalactic travel company in that, which sounds really fun. Boat Knight says, naming video games has to be hard. They all kind of sound like Mad Libs now. A little bit, you know? Space Lines from the Far Out. The Veil, Shadow of the Crown. Yes, totally. Michael Lalonde says, but that game, though, is perfect for the visually impaired. It definitely is. There's some stuff we had to read in it, but again, it may have changed a lot since we saw the very early build of it on the Gong Show last year. Winter releases from Microsoft's ID at Xbox program, Ollie Ollie World, which is the third installment of the series, Evil Geniuses 2, which is a villain simulator, and then in 2022, they have teased a new game called Lightyear Frontier, an open-world sci-fi farming game that looked cool, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which is a CRPG, and Lab Rat, which is a block-pushing puzzle game that had some serious Portal vibes, if I remember correctly. Are they making any fighting games coming out, says DJ David. I didn't see any in these two showcases. But that doesn't mean that there aren't any, but I just, you know, I haven't had a chance to do it. Let's see. Evil Geniuses sounds like it has a lot of potential, says Maverick Hunters. Well, but then Steven Summers says, Evil Genius 2 wasn't as good as I would have liked. Okay, some dissenting opinions there. But I'm definitely interested in checking out all of these at some point. Like I said, you'll probably see them appear somewhere on the Gong Show. How do you think the games shown at ID at Xbox stacked up against the Nintendo Indie World Showcase? Who do you think, you know, since they both had their indie events on the same week, if you had to compare and only take one, which would it be? Frostpunk 2 did just get announced yesterday. Esther Mello 9. You know this lady's hyped about it. Haswell says that's a lot of ice. Yeah, because it's a really big cup. So rather than having like a triple drink, you just put a lot of ice in it, then it stays nice and cold, and it's still just a 1 drink size. Let's see. I choose Nintendo, says Jimmy Sprinkles. All right, 1 vote for Nintendo Indie World Showcase. Haven't watched them, says Shadex. I know, Shadex, you're busy with your work. Get that work done. Steven says, I was thinking about suggesting it for Dragon Scales, but it was a poor design, in my opinion. And I assume you're talking Evil Genius 2. How indie is that beverage? I can't wait for an end-of-week iced tea, says Steve. You know, it's, how indie can a beverage be? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. It is very tasty, though. And Rob K is throwing it completely out of the park and says, Sony all day, every day. Not in the running for this question, but I'm glad that you love Sony. All right. The Nintendo Indie Showcase really surprised me. I got to vote for that one, says Estremel. All right, so it looks like Nintendo Indie World Showcase at least wins out for our Dragonrider happy hour. Okay, in news that I know a lot of people are excited for, the GTA Remastered Trilogy is real and coming to Switch? I have a lot of questions there. But so this would be a remaster of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, and each game will be remastered in the Unreal Engine. And they said it'll feature a mix of new and old graphics, so hopefully enough to keep the nostalgia there, but also new enough to, you know, maybe introduce to a new generation or just kind of bring it up to date. Sometimes we look at the games we love from our past and think, ooh, that didn't age so well. So this is exciting. It's expected to be released around late October, early November timeframe. And I think Kotaku reported that, this is the quote, they are going to stay true to the PS2 era GTA games as much as possible. Now that being said, this trilogy, the Remastered Trilogy, is supposed to be released on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, PC, Stadia, mobile devices, and Switch. But knock it out of the park. Oh, King Vegeta, how are you? Good to see you. Says, miss you guys. Go Niners. I will pass that on to Bartender Nate. Just for you. I will. GTA was my jam as a kid, says Jimmy Sprinkles. Happy Friday the 13th to you. I can't believe I keep forgetting that today is Friday the 13th, but happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Andrew Thomas, thank you for reminding me. Silver Crow says, how many times are they going to sell us those 3 games? It's starting to feel like Skyrim. You definitely have a point there, my friend. For sure. For sure. So I guess my question to you guys is, what was your first introduction to GTA? What was your first introduction to GTA? DJ David says, Knuckles game, when is the release date? I'm pumped for it. Well, the Knuckles news, which is coming out, is about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the film. Not about a game, but we'll get there in a moment. Let's see. Definitely interested in GTA Remastered. Beertastic says GTA 2. Shadex says 1. Sean Gentry, GTA on PC. Steven says GTA 5 was my first. GTA 3 and 2. Okay, so a lot of this full spectrum of GTA, if you will. Believe it or not, my introduction to GTA was GTA 5 with the GTA 5 Noob series back in the day with SourceFed Nerd. GTA just wasn't a game that had ever come across my radar. I was very into fantasy games like World of Warcraft and Diablo, and simulation games like The Sims, and also adventure games, like way back in the day, adventure games like King's Quest and Monkey Island, that kind of stuff. So GTA just wasn't on my radar for a long time until Noobs. And then I was like, oh, this is a good time. This is a real good time. Matt Eats Mochi's in chat and says, oh yeah, Noobs. That series was so fun. It was very, very fun. Maddie, how are you, my guy? Good to see you. Good to see you, Maddie. Rob K says, cancel GTA. Ooh, not a GTA fan, not for you. Christian Polson says, I remember waking up an hour before school to play San Andreas. Good times. I love memories like that. 2 Wallace says, Diablo 3! That's my childhood. How old are you? Because now I feel real old. Because I'm like, Diablo 3, that's the newest one. That's like the right now, Diablo. No judgment. You do you. You're as young or as old as you feel. There we go. All right. In other news, Life is Strange Remastered and Life is Strange True Colors have announced that they are delayed. I feel like we've just come to expect this kind of thing right now with video games that are coming out. Anytime they give a release window or release date, I just assume it's getting pushed because, like it or not, a lot of people are still working from home. That's delaying a lot of the development process, and I get it. I'm not in favor of crunch. Get me the game when you feel like the game is ready to be shipped, and I'm okay with that. So the Life is Strange Remastered collection has been delayed to 2022, and they cited challenges of the pandemic, ongoing challenges of the pandemic. And Deck 9 decided to alleviate any additional pressure on the team. The Nintendo Switch version of Life is Strange True Colors has also been delayed, but is still planning to arrive later this year. We will see if that sticks up with it. And just as a reminder, in case you're like, what is this? The Life is Strange Remastered collection is a compilation of the original Life is Strange game and the prequel, which was Life is Strange Before the Storm, which Deck 9 did, fun fact. And Remastered will have improved animations with better facial mocap and different facial mocap performances, which I think will be cool. Although I enjoyed the facial animations in the first one, so don't change it too much, okay? Don't pull like a Peter Parker in PS5 Spider-Man, okay? Don't change it too much. Thank you, though. All right. So are you guys Life is Strange fans? I know I've streamed it. I really like that type of game, but it's not for everyone, and I respect that. So I just wanted to kind of get a finger on the pulse of chat today at the bar. Are you Life is Strange fans? Are you looking forward to True Colors? Yes or no? You guys are saying couldn't agree more. If it means a much better game than delay away. For sure. Really loved Life is Strange, says Jordan, but can't justify playing it again. It just felt right to play through it once. That's how I feel about the original, but I am looking forward to the new one, True Colors. I enjoyed it, says Weasels1. Don't anger them, Trisha. They might change your face. On YouTube, it'll change right before your eyes. Christian Polson says, I only like it when you're streaming it. And sometimes it is more fun as like a group shared experience. Or I know I tend to have overactive emotional reactions to things sometimes, so I'm sure that probably adds to it a little bit too. Estromel says, Life is Strange, but it's not for me. But I can appreciate how beautiful they look, though. They are beautiful. Oh, Ridian, you have a friend that's on the soundtrack of the new game. That's awesome. Shadex, thank you for the super chat. Says, I own Body Harvest by DMA Design. Now known as Rockstar North, the people behind the first GTA games, and you can see early GTA elements in it. That's awesome. Early GTA love. Owl Captain Play says, not really looking forward to True Colors. Story-based games just seem so slow, I'd rather read a book. I know that tends to happen a lot on Gong Show. Anytime we have like a story-based visual novel type game, everyone's like, But the original Life is Strange, when it came out, was very novel in that your choices in the game directly impacted the narrative branch. And it wasn't just like, oh, it changes what your character has for breakfast this morning, but the rest of the story is exactly the same. It was like major character shifts and major plot point changes depending on your choices, which is really cool. So I always like to see that in games. Telltale did great work with that, with the Walking Dead games, etc. So it's always good to me, it's always interesting to see that. All right, Geralt for Mortal Kombat 12? I mean, I appreciate the fervor. If that's a real thing, definitely let me know. All right, this is news I know everyone's hyped for. Idris Elba as Knuckles. So this was so cool, and I still don't think it's been like officially announced, but Idris Elba tweeted it out, so we can say this is officially announced. Idris Elba tweeted out, let's see, Idris Elba tweeted out a hand, Knuckles' iconic hand, and tweeted it out. And we were all like, Idris Elba's Knuckles! It's amazing! So Idris Elba is voicing Knuckles in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. That's what we are all inferring from that. The film will be following the events of the Sonic 3 game, with Robotnik and Knuckles taking on a central role in this. We're very excited. And it's scheduled for release sometime in April 2022. Let's see. Beardtastic Yogi says, what if Idris Elba's just a huge fan of Knuckles? You know, that would be really funny because now we're all like, oh my gosh, what if Knuckles has a smooth British voice? Who's going to voice Tails? And I know a lot of people online were like, but shouldn't Idris Elba be Shadow? Like, lots of questions, but I think Idris Elba as Knuckles is something I'm definitely here for. I think this is going to be awesome. Two Wallace says, would you ever consider doing a haul video for fashion reasons? I kind of did on Amazon Live once. I kind of did. It was strange. I'm not a fashion vlogger. It was a thing, you know? It was a thing. So, okay, question for you guys. Who should voice Tails? Give me your fan casting now. Oh, Jeremy Coleman says, my second choice would have been Jason Momoa as Knuckles. That could have been good, too. Idris's Tails would be wild, says Jordan. Rob says, Idris voicing Knuckles sounds strange. I'm in it. I'm into it. I'm into it. Billy Zane as Tails? Okay, Jimmy Sprinkles is giving it to Billy Zane. Ridian Morgan says, my fashion video was a great stream. Scored me many points with my better half. Oh, I hope you found a couple things you liked. This dress was in the haul stream, I believe. Tails needs to be Daniel Radcliffe because why not, says Boat Knight. I would be on board with that as well. Megan Fox's Tails. That's a pull, DJ David. Shade X says, I don't know. I can't picture anyone right now as Tails. That's fine. Chloe Grace Moretz, Jeremy Coleman. I'm totally on board with that. Mark Hamill is Tails. Mark Hamill's a fantastic voice actor who does amazing things. Tom Holland is Tails. Tom Holland is great. I love it. I love your fan casting, everybody. This is great. This is awesome sauce, and I'm here for it. Thank you for that. All right, I know people earlier were like, can't wait for Battlefield. So I do have some quick hits news. Battlefield 2042, we got some updates there. Kimball Graves will return as a playable no-pat specialist in the game, equipped with his own gadget and trait. Will join a roster of other characters, including a Canadian-born Webster McKay, veteran medic Maria Falk, and expert engineer Pyotr Boris Goskovsky, and lone wolf Wiggis Casper Van Deel. DICE has confirmed that it is set to debut 5 more specialists among the game's ranks before it launches on October 15th. And let's see, and I think that's it. I think those were the updates for Battlefield. If you're a huge Battlefield fan and I missed anything, definitely let me know. But again, just kind of like quickly wanted to throw it in there for the Battlefield community members who are here. Rob K casts Betty White as Tails. That is definitely a choice, and I think the internet would be all about it if that happened. I think the internet would be all about it. Also, Xbox released their Gamescom information, their Gamescom 2021 stream information. It's going to be August 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If I can co-stream it, I will. And we'll have updates on previously announced Xbox Game Studios titles like Halo Infinite, Forza, Horizon 5, Starfield, Perfect Dark, and maybe New Fable. That would be nice, alongside other games from its third-party partners now that it has all these acquisitions. And there is going to be an Xbox sale through Gamescom running from August 25th to 27th, offering up to 75% off certain sale titles. We don't know what's going to go on sale, but if there's any Xbox or Microsoft first titles that you've been thinking about buying, you might want to wait till August 25th to see if they get that price drop. Let's see. QuakeCon's schedule for 2021 was revealed as well. That's going to be August 19th, and it's Quake's 25th anniversary panel. It'll be a deep dive into Deathloop with Arcane Lion and a Doom Eternal Studio update. It looks to be all focused on games that are available right now. No expected new news. Maybe they'll surprise us, but nothing expected. And that's the news for this week. Those are the headlines. What did I miss? What was big and important to you guys? Ugh, tough to beat the legendary Robin Williams. R.I.P. Robin Williams in terms of voice acting. Agreed, Ridian Morgan. Oh, Edward, thank you for stopping by. You said it's good to be back after a few years. Love your content. That's very kind of you, Edward. I am mostly creating content over on Twitch right now. So if you want to see me in more places than just once a week at my bar, then definitely head over to twitch.tv/Trisha Hershberger because I'm there 4 to 5 times a week. And I've really like kind of shifted focus from YouTube to Twitch. But I'm so glad that you found me again. Welcome back. So when I can do happy hour, I'm here on YouTube doing happy hour. But like I said, I kind of focus more of my creative energy over on Twitch nowadays. I just enjoy it more. It's more fun. And because I like the live format so much is why I started doing Naked Truth live. And then once Naked Truth became a podcast, which is what it is now, then I decided to do the Dragonrider happy hour idea live as well. Interacting with the community live like this is something that it was so needed for me, especially through pandemic. But it's just, that's the way that I like to interact with the community best. I feel like it's a little less personal when you're creating pre-curated content and putting it out and then just reading comments afterwards. This feels very different to me in that way, and I like it. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Edward says, will do. I'll check you out on Twitch. Thank you, Edward. Yeah, and welcome. Where is your lav mic, says Maverick Hunter 0. My lav mic, and this is a trick we used to do all the time at SourceFed, it is in Nature's lav mic holder, aka my bosom. That's where I put the lav mic. And like I said, that's what we all started doing back in the day at SourceFed. And, it saves you from having to buy fancy lav mic clips or skin tape that can hurt your skin. Nah, we're all good. We're all good. Although, remember when I was streaming from vacation and the way that I had my lav mic, you guys could hear my heartbeat sometimes? I'm sorry, that was creepy. So just as long as that's not happening, generally you're good to go. Boat Night, I just realized you have a Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man as your profile picture, and I am here for it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Haswell says, shotgun mic for the win. I'm nervous that in this bar, because it's such an enclosed space with so many hard surfaces and nothing to absorb sound, that a shotgun mic might feel really echoey, which is why I go with the lav in here. I still feel like it sounds echoey, but it's better than having a shotgun mic, I think. But, I'm always playing around with it. But in my studio upstairs, I don't need the lav mic because I have that pretty well soundproofed. But since I decided to do a stream once a week in my bar, I had to come up with another solution. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I know I tease this every time, but I do actually have other YouTube content in the works. That hopefully I will be able to upload soon. I'm kind of messing around with shorts. I've uploaded one. I might upload more. Tell me in the comments if you are interested in that format of video at all, or if I'm just kind of spinning my wheels for no reason. I thought if YouTube is promoting shorts, then maybe that would be a good way to find some more people who maybe haven't seen my content in a while, or maybe some new people. I don't know. But yeah, just try new things because you can. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Shirley Temple, which is still somehow more than half full. This is a magnanimous drink. I do still need tapestries for the bar, Thomas Moffat, it's true. But I want to wait until I can, you guys are shorts? You need to post more shorts. Okay, it looks like everybody likes shorts. Shorts are cool if you're doing something fun with it. All right, cool. Adventure in Laces, what are you saying? A lav mic. It's L-A-V. It's short for lavalier. It's a type of microphone. Christian Polson says the algorithm has calmed down a lot in regard to shorts. All right, so maybe that's not so much, shish. We'll see. We'll see. The face says, is the time capsule unboxing posted? No, I just went through a first round of notes on the edit pass of that today. So hopefully that'll be ready next week. Fingers crossed. But maybe I'll do, here we go, shorts. Maybe I'll do a shorts preview of it before the full video goes live. There you go. There you go. And Fabricio says, I love The Naked Truth as a podcast. Thank you. Thank you for giving it a listen. I know generally on the internet, people don't like change. So I knew when I announced that it was going from a video vlog series to a podcast that probably a lot of people would fall off. But I'm so glad that you're enjoying it in its audio-only format, and that frees me up to make new types of content like this. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope that you're able to chill out from your work week, have a drink, sit down, relax, give yourself a break, pat yourself on the back. Have a nice weekend. If you're working this weekend, I hope you make it through it okay. I know some of you are. And be kind to one another. All right, stay safe everybody, and I'll see you soon. Happy Friday the 13th. Bye.